Hey everybody, this is Cole, and today I will be telling the story of how a guy named Bohemus beat the No Vitality Challenge in Dark Souls Remastered. It did take me quite a little bit of time, but I did get there in the end. So make sure to stick in and watch how it happened, and I appreciate any of you for stopping by. Hope you have a good day. Of course, the first thing that needs to happen in any Dark Souls playthrough is actually creating your character. So I did choose the class as Bandit, even though technically Bandit does not start with the lowest vitality. It does start with 12, as you can see here. I chose Bandit mainly because I wanted a higher strength and endurance, because I knew that that would be a big point of the gameplay as a strength build. Otherwise, Bandit was just chose to help with my strength, really, mainly. And it starts with a cool axe, so, and there's this cool shield, which I will not be using. So, the first boss fight, I was advised by my chat that if I did kill this boss here, the Asylum Demon, on the first time I saw him, I might be getting a cool weapon. I don't know exactly what weapon, I ended up not getting it, unfortunately. So I tried to use bombs to kill this boss, which honestly I do regret after the fact because I did not end up getting the weapon anyways. But it was worth trying, I guess. Technically speaking, if you want to get this secret weapon, you have to see him the very, very, very first time you see him. I thought this was the first time I was seeing him. I wasn't paying attention. So, unfortunately, I killed him now with the bombs, and I wasted them. I did end up using the bombs one other time in this run, but I don't think, or, sorry, I did use the bombs one other time in this run, but I thought it was because they were required, but they ended up not being, and I will explain that later on the run why I used them. But otherwise, the Asylum Demon, I think, would have been easy enough either way, using bombs or no bombs, so I don't think it was a big deal that I used bombs, and I don't feel like restarting the whole run for just that. Did I get the sword? I went ahead and leveled up my endurance and strength again just to help with those level weapon requirements later on in the game I knew that I would need. And I decided to go talk to this merchant, which led me to have some despair. Repairs the weapon? How do I know how broken this weapon is? Durability? Oh man, why? Oh, why? Why? Oh wow, that's just annoying. I hope that's not in the second game. Okay, what about armor? Please don't tell me that has durability. As you can see, I'm quite distraught, but it ends up that weapon durability does not seem to really matter at all later on in the game. So, honestly, it didn't turn out to be a big deal. I think I ended up breaking a weapon literally once in this entire playthrough, and the repair powder was quite cheap to purchase, so it wasn't a big deal. So I immediately went to the Taurus Demon, as you see, and I've already died once. I was a little bit, I think this boss is a pretty easy boss fight overall. I think it literally took me 2 tries. You get this little jump off the ledge, bang, into his head. He tries to do a little stompy stompy, doesn't quite get it. But just make sure to always be dodging away from your enemies in this game, or sorry, towards your enemies. I got very lucky there somehow dodging him. But The hitboxes in this game are quite weird, as you saw there. Like, I dodged, but it still hit me. So I will be letting you guys hear my reaction to killing this boss for the first time. Hold on, we're fine. Dang, dude, that was a big hit. Drink, drink, drink. Drinking in this game feels like you're just staring while a bulldozer is coming straight for your forehead. Ah, what was the dodge button doing? Why didn't it work, man? Ah, way too early, but I lived. Oh, yeah, yeah. Come on. We're fine. Way too early again. Die, die, die. Get out of here. Second attempt. Didn't even break a sweat. So I went to the Bell Gargoyles after this. I did die quite a lot here. So I'm just going to be talking a little bit about what my thoughts were during this run and why I chose to do a no vitality run. As you can see, as you watch, I just get absolutely murdered by the Bell Gargoyles a lot. So the no vitality run, in my opinion, was a little bit of a half and half run. What do I mean by that? So a lot of runners do a no hit run, which in my opinion is probably more difficult, but it does require quite a little bit of, I feel like, exploitation of items and magic and ranged attacks. Just almost utilizing anything you can get to avoid damage in this game. So I wanted to do a no vitality run. This was inspired by Dan Giesling. If you've ever watched his no vig Elden Ring run, he's got a quote no resin rule, which to me and to others means no items allowed, basically. No ranged weapons. It's just basically a strength build, pure strength, and then no cheesy items like literally the resin items that give you extra damage. There's other items in this game I don't know off the top of my head that are like throwing things at enemies, throwing bombs. Like I said earlier, I didn't mean to. Well, I did use the bombs, but I ended up regretting it. Unfortunately, I didn't really feel like restarting the run. It just didn't feel like an appropriate response. Uh, I don't know. I'm sorry if that disappoints you guys, but I don't think it's a big deal in the end run. It didn't turn out to be a big deal. I'm sure I could have killed that first boss either way with bombs or without bombs. But and then the versus the no hit run, like I said, you are required to just go all in. You have to use every single little mechanic in the game. You have to use items that will one shot the bosses. You will have to use, basically any single mechanic. And I I feel like, in my opinion, no hit was not an intended way to play Dark Souls, but I mean it's certainly possible. Maybe it is intended. I'm not sure, to be honest with you, but anyways, after failing to the gargoyles a lot of times, I tried to go down here and decided that, hey, maybe it's time I go get a new weapon. So I went down to the catacombs because my chat had recommended me go down here. Unfortunately for me, there is just an absolute ton of skeletons, and I am just getting overwhelmed by them here, just getting shredded. But I did try to look around for this secret weapon that was down here based on one of my chats, but I did not end up getting it, unfortunately. So, guess what I did? I went right back up to the gargoyles. I think this was the next day by this point. So, I think this was another failing run here on the gargoyles. This was not a great one. It ended up being a very close fight. I think this was the fight that I realized that there are two gargoyles, and that made it very difficult to achieve. I think the main difficulty of the gargoyles, in my opinion, is that the fire attacks are very difficult to dodge, and they are basically a one-shot. That is something I really struggle with in general. On even Elden Ring, was the fire damage, like the fire from the dragons, is just almost undodgeable to a point. I feel like it is in this game as well. Like I tried to dodge to the fire and I did not get it. So, but you guys will get to see the entire run back to the fire link, or sorry, to the gargoyles here. I'm gonna be doing this for every single boss fight that I felt like it was a long run back, just so you can experience a little bit of how long these run backs are in this game. If you think Elden Ring is bad, you have no idea. You've never played Dark Souls 1 or 2. And speaking of Dark Souls 2, I might go back to Dark Souls 2. I did play it for a little bit, although I kind of abandoned it. Not because it was too difficult, mainly just due to a lack of time on my part. But if you guys are interested in seeing a Dark Souls 2, I would consider streaming that or playing it for you guys. I think overall Dark Souls 2 is um not an amazing game, unfortunately. I mean, it's all right. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what it was about Dark Souls 2. I think it was a little bit of the distribution of how the stats were laid out, and it did kind of feel like a little bit of a different experience from Dark Souls 1, but I would not mind going back to that and doing a no vitality or no vigor challenge for that run as well. Anyways, here is my Bell Gargoyle attempt. You're going to be seeing my reaction to killing them for the first time. I mean, I guess it's I guess this is the first time I did kill them. I did end up going back and 100%ing this game, so yeah, I did not record that because it took quite a long while and I don't think it was really worth recording. I think I streamed it on Twitch, but those VODs are probably long gone by now. I'm going to be trying to do a little bit of a better job of recording VODs in the future if you guys are interested in watching those. But here is my reaction to killing the bell. Bang. Ouch, he punched me. Go away, go away, go away, go away. I didn't like it. Why are you so involved with that fire, man? Believe in me? Believe in me? No belief? Believe in? Ooh. Die. Yes! Ooh! 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 Why are you crying? I win. I win. I win. Yeah. Win humanity. That's all I get is a piece of garbage. It's 2 pieces of black poop. That's what that looked like. What the heck, man? Wearing of divine. I didn't need no summon. Who needs a summon anyway? Summon lummin. Summon bummin. You know what I'm saying? Salad with no lettuce on the meat. Saint. $10,000. Should probably increase my dexterity a little bit. I did it! Me too, buddy. How do I upvote it? There's no upvote button. Alright, we beat the game. We did it. That's the entire game. Good job, Miyazaki. That was a good game. That was awesome. Alright. So excited for Dark Souls 2. Ring the bell at the undead church. Woo! Alright, well, now, I mean, this is a new territory. Now, where to go next? No, I have no clue. Gotta first kill all these idiots because I don't want to lose my $10,000 that I just got. I'm guessing I go downwards. You. Stop, please stop. Get out of my way. Please. Get out of here. Get out of here. Oh, why are you here, man? I am not losing that money. I'm going back. Okay, what am I gonna do about all these enemies? I gotta fight them one at a time. Hmm. I feel comfortable up here, but I do not feel comfortable down there. Climb the ladder. Look at all of them. The bone to go back to the bonfire. Hey, what a smart idea. Please, why are you... Get out of my way! What is happening? It's sewage water down there, man. I ended up getting my money back after a little bit of struggle there. It was quite the fun time, as you could see there. I just got absolutely swarmed by those guys. But we ended up getting them, and I leveled up again with some of my stats requiring more strength, endurance, and I think a little bit of dexterity, mainly for some more weapon requirements. So I ended up going down into to the coffin area, or to the skeleton area again, as my chat was kind of just guiding me in good directions to go in. This coffin does lead to a secret area if you sit here and wait in this coffin for quite some time. And while we're waiting in this coffin, I honestly, I would have never found this if my chat had never told me about it. If you sit in this coffin for a little bit of time, it brings you to this secret area that you can join one of the many covenants in this game. And to be honest, I don't really know what the covenants do. I don't know the story behind them. I just know that once I joined this covenant specifically, it gave me something great. So, look at this little cutscene here of me getting dragged away in this coffin. You end up inside of these caves, or this cave. You end up coming back here later on in the game. So, I'm kind of curious to know if you come here first, or sorry, if you come here later on in the game to come fight the boss, I wonder if you get that sword later on in the game. I'm not sure, but you do end up getting a graveyard sword for coming here, and this graveyard sword was something that I would be using for a majority of the rest of the game. Do think I don't think I upgraded the graveyard sword even once in this playthrough though. Maybe I did. I can't remember. It's been quite a little bit of time since this playthrough, but so enter the covenant here. I get an achievement for entering the covenant. Yay. Abandon this former covenant. Honestly, like I said, I don't really know what joining a covenant does. I just wanted the sword. Grave Lord sword. A really, really, really good strength weapon if you guys didn't know. And it's pretty easy to get in the early game, unless, well, I guess other than all the skeletons you have to go through to get here. So, I went ahead and gave him some Eyes of Death here. I didn't know what those did either. Just kind of filling out some of his quest lines. I think you get some sort, I'm guessing you get some reward. I think I did this on my 100%. Honestly, I was just following a guide for the 100%. That's why I felt like it wasn't going to be entertaining to watch that either, because I was just following a guide for most of that, because it's very difficult to do. And but Gravelord sword, 265 damage, insane sword. It does require a little bit more stats than I have right now, so I'll be working on that soon. I went ahead and used all of my souls to try to level up here. Just absolutely going crazy on these souls. Level up a little bit of dexterity. Level a little bit of strength, I'm guessing, and a little bit of everything else. What this allows, because I think you can technically carry the weapon, although I think you do significantly less damage, and your character, like for some weapons, if you're not strong enough, you will just literally like flop around with the weapon. Like you're not able to swing it around properly. I went ahead and decided to kill a few of these starting enemies to get over the threshold of souls required for that sword. I did not farm enemies in this whole playthrough except for that one time, and I was really close to leveling up anyways, so I thought it was fine to do so. Here's that level up I was talking about. Still vitality at 12. We're making sure to keep an eye on that for the whole playthrough. It's going to remain at 12, like I said. So, now we do go to the butterfly fight. We find a little secret hidden wall here, light the bonfire, and I do need to find the secret key or the little orb to open this door later on in the game, but mainly just focusing on going to the butterfly first here. I ended up just at this point in the game basically rushing to each boss because I felt pretty confident now. I have this new sword and it's very strong. So I go straight to the Capra Demon, the infamous boss fight in this tiny, tiny arena with the two dogs that poison you. Honestly, I would agree. This is a quite a small arena, but I think I got the fight down pretty well. The dogs aren't super bad to handle with the sword. They take, I think, 1 to 2 hits with the sword, and then the demon himself. You can do this little trick where you go up on these stairs here, and then do a little bit of a ledge drop onto his head, and just absolutely tanks his whole health bar. He is still alive though, so I gotta finish him off here. Take a little bit of a stagger back, drink a little bit of a health potion. He comes straight for me, get a little bit of damage in on me. Bang, bang. Do a little bit of roll, a little bit of roll. I think I heal, and then I stab him right in the chest. Bang. Dead. Quite an easy boss fight. Honestly, I don't think it was that big of a deal to be fighting in such a small arena, but I can see why people get angry about that. So I end up going straight to the depths after this as well. It took me a little bit of time to get here. If you're keeping an eye on the clock, I think it took me, I don't know, 30 minutes or something like that. But honestly, I went straight towards the Gaping Demon here. The Gaping Demon is quite the ferocious boss. again, this is one of those runbacks that was just felt a little bit wrong to me, so I felt like I just wanted to show you guys how fun these runbacks are when you're getting absolutely just annoyed by little rats and creatures constantly. Look at this introduction to the gaping demon. Quite ferocious, and then he pops up just a little crocodile head, and then he just pops up with this huge, scary tentacle creature face thing. I don't even know what to describe it as, but you guys are gonna go ahead and kind of listen in here. I think this boss was a really cool boss fight. It was otherwise, I mean, other than the fact that locking on in this boss fight felt a little bit off, but here's my full boss fight. And look at that too. Look at his arms are like a rainbow. That's pretty cool. There is no sprinting allowed when you're locked on? Guess so. Got tail swipe twice in a row? Because it keeps locking onto some random cardinal direction, I guess? Yeah, don't even lock on because I feel like it's just worse in this fight. You lose the ability to sprint completely, and that's pretty good. Dragon King Great Axe. That looks like a good weapon. I'm excited. Sorry, I just got really excited about that because that's probably like a really good weapon. Maybe not, but hoping it is. Hold on, don't get greedy. We're fine. Nice save. I'm surprised I didn't get hit there and staggered to death, but that's what I was afraid of, because I was like 90% sure that was about to happen there, but, you know, I got pretty lucky, I guess. Oh, he has no tail to swipe anymore, dude. That's kind of fun. Oh, he still hit me with a stub. I think that took me less than 5 attempts. I think that was like my 3rd attempt or my 4th attempt. I like how it says victory achieved, man. Homeward bone. Right after fighting the bosses, I did go right down to Blight Town. Blight Town has another one of the bosses that we need to fight. This is one of the runbacks again. I decided to not speed this one up because this one is pure torture. You gotta run through the poison waters. You gotta dip your toes in a little bit. Making sure to avoid these guys that are holding giant boulders and all the spiders here, so I take a far left route to try to avoid all their boulders and stuff. You go up into the queen spider quaileg's nest here. Unfortunately, I don't have any items to purify the poison, so you just are poisoned during this whole fight unless you have kind of like an infinite amount of healing. Or oh, look, I do have some purple moss. Look at that. Purple moss, very nice. But yeah, you do run out of purple moss very quickly, it feels like, and then you're just kind of screwed here, unfortunately. You just need to constantly keep your purple moss up or just run through the boss fight really quickly here. Now, Mrs. Quayleg, she's honestly not too difficult of a boss fight. I think this also took me 4 attempts, maybe. Most of these boss fights were not too bad in the base game. I think where I really started to struggle was the DLC, and we will get to that later on, as that is part of the game. And I did complete the entire DLC with no vitality as well, which was brutal. Quayleg, pretty fast boss fight here. I mean, it's a sword battle, so it actually felt like a good fair fight for once. It's a one-on-one fight, and she's not too tanky. My blade does some slash damage on her spider body, I guess. I don't know what kind of body. She's got a weird body. Don't worry about her, and don't be looking up there. It's not good. She needs to get a shirt on. What the heck is she doing here? She's got the same few attacks. I think after you learn the few attacks, it's pretty easy. You avoid the lava because the lava in this game is basically instantaneous burning death, but get a little bit of poke from behind. Just absolutely destroying Quelaag with this sword here. I mean, even with like this sword being a no vitality character, no vigor character, I feel like I am doing a really good job of just doing absolutely amazing damage to these bosses. So, and then you just need to learn a little bit of their uh, dodging cycles, and then you're good to go. Quelaag goes down, and of course, after you get Quelaag, you get some money, you get the soul, and you go up to ring the bell here. Ringing the bell is the big second part of the game. You get $20,000 for killing Quelaag. That is an insane amount of souls there. Of course, as you scale in this game, if you didn't know, you do have to keep getting more and more and more souls the more you level up. So you do have to like get an exponentially greater amount of souls to do so. We get this giant over here to unlock a new part of the map we haven't got to go yet, which will be containing almost the entire rest of the game here. I mean, this is not, I would not consider this a half. I guess this is kind of like halfway of the game, getting the 2 bells rung and then going and fighting the next big boss, which we will be doing here in a second. So this big area over here is the next area we go to. It is a little bit tricky. I am going to be skipping that entire area. I feel like this playthrough and this video is mainly just going to be focusing on big boss fights. So I will be letting you guys just watch my entire Iron Golem fight. He's got a lot of health, and he's got the one horizontal slice that's really kicking me down to the ground. Let's go, let's go, let's go. I should not have gone for that, but I got it anyways. Kick him in the shins. Kick him in the shin again. Keep kicking him. Yeah, it's running out of energy too fast. Uncomparable charm to me. I'm really bad with stuff like Dark Souls lore. I don't really understand, to be honest. I'm just playing the game. I can try not. I mean, I know there's the Sun Man. Praise the sun. I know that's like a meme from this game, but that's really all I know. I know I'm fighting the Iron Golem. I've killed like 3 NPCs on complete accident because I made them angry. I plan on doing a 100% achievement run through the game, so maybe that'll teach me a little bit more about the lore, but I don't know. Kind of hard to follow the story in these games. Sometimes. Ooh, wow. I kind of want to get that stun again. I mean, I broke his kneecap or something earlier. That was kind of cool. I don't know how I did that. Uh-oh. Ooh. Nearly perfect. I love Elden Ring. It's good. It's got nice gameplay. It feels satisfying to play. I haven't even played the DLC yet. I, I'm I plan on playing the DLC after I'm done with all of these games. I've heard the DLC is extremely difficult. So that'll be like that'll be the ending to my no vigor challenge is the DLC. Wow, man. Stagger. Oh yeah. Yeah. Open world is kind of cool. What do I get? I want to ask you. I don't know how familiar you are with Dark Souls, but where? So it's like in Elden Ring, you get the what are they called? Remembrances. So I guess that was like a remembrance, that yellow bonfire looking thing. And so where do I go to redeem that? I guess because I know you could either get souls from that or you could get a weapon. I don't know where you can go to get the weapon though, or I don't know. Are we in Anne Orlando now? Dude, look at this place. Wow, man. Holy cow. Wow. So, I got to Anne Orlando, as you guys can see, and I just went straight to Doughboy and Squidward. Doughboy and Squidward were finally a challenge for me. They can actually one-shot me again, and these bosses did take me, I think, 2 or 3 days to beat. They just absolutely destroy you if you mess up at all. So you have to be paying attention to both characters, especially Squidward. He will just stab you in the back if you're not looking at him. Then Doughboy has his giant hammer. He'll just smash you. Make sure you get pressured towards Squidward, and then Squidward's got the long range attack. They just got quite the combination of moves here, unfortunately. Um, I think the weirdest thing in this fight is how Squidward will fly occasionally, like that right there, except he will do a fly where he gets stuck against an object, and you have to be observant of if he gets stuck because he's still technically flying, he's just stuck. So then he'll suddenly zoop around the corner after he got unstuck, and then he will just destroy you. Using these pillars to your advantage during the fight is very important, and I finally ended up getting Squidward down after a lot of attempts here. So far, it's almost 17 hours in the game, and I'm getting the Ornstein and Smell. I would say this is probably about the halfway point of the game here. And this is a lot where a lot of people would say that the game does fall off significantly after this boss fight, unfortunately, and I would seem to agree. I mean, the boss fights are okay, except for the one, the one I'm talking about, and just got absolutely killed instantly by Smo, by the way. But you know which boss fight I'm talking about. It is unfortunate that the rest of the game may not be in as high as the quality of the start of the game. You can tell that they had to kind of cut some corners here and there. Some of the bosses aren't as amazing, but and honestly, some of the areas just don't feel as amazing. So that's why this video was just mainly like a boss rush. But here's my full winning attempt of Ornstein and Smo. I love that noise when you get like a ding. 3? No, there's 2. Aw, Mr. Smo. Mr. Smo got me there. Dig deep. I'm dug too deep, man. Oh wow, I'm surprised I didn't just die on impact from that. Dude, come on. He's doing his little thing. I know, I see it. Dug. Dig deep! Oh, come on. Hold on, don't spam. Oh man, I should have just spammed, I think. Bing. 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 Alright, see you later, man. Yeah, we're just gonna play tag, man. You go first, and I tag you back. We're just gonna keep doing this, buddy, until you learn your lesson that tag is not a game for you. Too far away. Too far away, maybe? Yeah, probably. Sequel. Okay, come on. That move is really scary, man. That one's like an insta-kill. Okay. Sometimes it doesn't start running. I don't understand. Half health. Less than half health? Come on. I'm going in, man. He didn't get hurt. His pelvis, man. Pelvis immunity drops. Oh man, look at that stun. This is it. This is it. This is it. Get out of town. Oh my god, man. Soul of Smo? What about the soul of Mr. Oh wow, so you have to play. I guess that's why you have to play the game multiple times. Oh my god, man. Now time for the longest run back in Dark Souls. Well, this run back is probably my own fault, unfortunately. What I should have probably done here was go all the way to the Firelink Shrine, and I think I should have rested at the Firelink Shrine and then traveled, because at some point I did unlock the ability of fast traveling to other shrines. So what I should have been doing is fast traveling all the way down to this boss fight here. So this run back is extremely long and lengthy. You have to cross across those little tiny walkways there. Have to fight some enemies. Make sure you don't die. You gotta pull this elevator. You gotta run down the elevator. It takes super duper duper long here to get all the way down to the boss fight. I would highly recommend, if you ever play this, to just use the bonfire. I believe, again, so you would be able to use the bonfire at the Firelink Shrine. You're not able to use that bonfire if you anger the witch. But here is the fight with Dark Sun Gwendolyn. It is a very, very, very long hallway, and she does have some one-shot attacks. These blue pebble crystals are basically a one-shot against me, so you'll see me using these pillars on the right side to avoid the attack and advance toward Gwendolyn, as that's really the only way I can avoid the attack, is just using the pillars. Rolling through them is pretty inconsistent. So I just hide behind the pillar, bang, they all just go straight into the pillar, but then she occasionally does this laser beam attack. Oh, she's not doing it right now. She's doing the bow and arrow attack, which all you have to do is run back and forth for. It does do quite a bit of damage though still. And you can still hit her while she's teleporting away. This boss fight is really just about making sure to play safe, I think. I mean, I think I did try to force my head against the wall and just try to basically only dodge these attacks, but you really can't reasonably dodge every single one of these attacks because they're homing attacks and they're really difficult to do. And this long laser beam does almost basically one-shot you as well. So you have to watch out for it, but I get hit by it a couple of times. It doesn't really matter in the end. Just keep running towards her in a zigzag line. Don't get hit by the arrows. Don't get hit by the blue beam. Don't get hit by the other blue beam. Nice dodges there. And you have to reach her in time with a little bit of stamina to be able to hit her a few times at least. Unfortunate for me there. Just run straight toward her. You got the arrows to dodge again. Usually at least one blue homing attack, but I got to her in time before she could get it on our attack off. One more attack should kill her at this point. So again, the strength build in this game is pretty good. I mean, I don't know if this is the strength build that everybody else is doing or if there's a better strength build. This is the one that I chose to do, and I'm sure that other people are leveling vitality when they are trying to fight these bosses or fight or just play the game in general. Honestly, it is a really rough game with low vitality, but it's pretty fun and challenging. But we got Gwendolyn. She is down. Soul of Gwendolyn victory achieved. So right after this, we go straight to another boss, the Ceaseless Discharge. The Ceaseless Discharge is another boss that is honestly, I don't know how I was supposed to beat this boss, to be honest. So I'm ending up like exploring this boss arena because this is a really unusual boss arena here. You go through the boss arena, you're going through it, and you do get this guy over here. There's like an item over there or something you have to pick up, which I think I already picked up at this point, but I was just going over here to see what was over here. I guess the thing about the Ceaseless Discharge is that it does have a really, really strong like laser beam attack that basically one-shots you if you get hit by it. So it's a very difficult fight here that we have to do. To get the Ceaseless Discharge, I did pull some cheese here, unfortunately. I probably shouldn't have cheesed the fight. But if you didn't know, you can just go back to the start of the Ceaseless Discharge fight. There's that laser beam that I was talking about. Just absolutely shreds you and goes through walls almost. So I'm just running away as quickly as possible to try to avoid getting hit again by that laser beam. I almost got hit again, but I narrowly escaped. So if you didn't know, on the Ceaseless Discharge, you can just run all the way back to the starting area here after you get to the end. And after you get over here, the Ceaseless Discharge will attempt to follow you, which it will cause it to kind of fall off this ledge here. And just like that, the Ceaseless Discharge is dead. I mean, he's not dead yet, but he will be dying in just a moment here. This does give you a free opening to kill him. I wonder if you can actually kill him during this downtime. So I'm guessing he dies to fall damage there. It looks like, I guess. I don't know why that's in the game. I didn't like taking the coward's way out, but that is what I did to kill that boss, unfortunately. I don't think it was a good boss fight anyways, but yeah. So I ended up killing one of these rhino creatures or bull creatures. They do drop, or they have a chance of dropping the weapon that they are holding, and this was the weapon that I decided was going to be the one that I was going to be using for the rest of the game. So Demon's Great Axe, you could see me nodding my head, yes, and then I don't have the stats required for the Demon Great Axe yet, but we will be making our way towards that. And there you go, just like that, we got the Demon. So the Demon's Great Sword, or Great Axe, sorry, is the one that I decided that I was going to be leveling up to the maximum level. I leveled it up a few times there, and we head straight into the next boss fight, which honestly is a really cool boss fight. Some of my favorite music in the game, and it is a really fun boss fight. It's the dog. We got Grey Wolf, Sif, sorry. It's a really cool boss fight. It reminds me of the Elden Ring dog fight. I mean, I'm sure that Elden Ring was inspired by this fight more than anything, but I think it was cool to fight such a big creature with a dog that had the ability of like slicing like this. The dog is honestly not too difficult of a fight in my opinion, and I do wish that feel like in my opinion that I did end up using the weapon that I have right now, the bone sword, as one of my crutch weapons for almost the entirety of the game. Like I said, I really only used the bone sword and the great axe for the rest of the game. The great axe, I just don't have enough stats for it yet, so that's why I'm not using it just yet. But I'm doing an insane amount of damage with the great sword still. So once you get the dog damaged enough, he does start limping around a little bit and he becomes slower. He does do some weird attacks that you have to be aware of, like instant lunging, but once you get the attacks, they are not too bad to kill him. Drink some juice there. Dodge. But this is a really cool boss fight. Overall, I would say Dark Souls. I think this is probably one of the better boss fights in the game. I mean, I really appreciated the DLC boss fights as well. Overall, Dark Souls to me was probably a 7 out of 10 game. It did have very, very dragged out moments. It did have some pain and suffering, which, I mean, I know that's part of the game, but I mean, I felt like it was unintentional pain and suffering. Like, the amount of distance between the bonfires just felt very off to me. I mean, I understand that it is part of the game, but if you play Elden Ring before you play Dark Souls, you are a very spoiled player, and that's what happened to me. I mean, I played Elden Ring before this, and honestly, the runbacks in this game did not deter me from playing it at all. It was just really rough to have to go through it. And here's when the dog starts limping fully. He's not really able to fight anymore. He is still trying though. Look how weirdly like the sword swings around when he's limping like that. I'm trying to. I honestly thought we could convince him to be nice to us, but he does not back off. Try to do a little sword blocking truce just like in Minecraft, but he does not care for it. Just keeps on limping towards us at a slow rate. So I decide time to put the dog down. I did not want to put the dog down. He did seem like a really cool character, or a really cool boss fight, but you do have to put the dog down, unfortunately. Rest in peace, the Bubba. Sorry, my hands were quite full this evening. And the next boss fight in our list of boss fights here is the Four Kings. Now, this was one of my first attempts against the Four Kings. It is in a completely dark arena. And when they say Four Kings, they do mean 4 different bosses or 4 different enemies that you have to fight during this boss fight. I ended up using the sword at first, and I honestly did, I feel like, a pretty good job at first here. The attacks that the kings do are pretty rough though, and they end up getting the best of me. So I think I ended up switching to a full tank build, just putting on the max amount of armor I can and just trying to kill them. And you guys can watch that attempt here right now. I wonder if that like did just a bunch of durability damage right there. Already? Get up and drink. That's the first thing. Alright, that's the grab. Yeah, I know. I'm learning. Drink again. We're fine. Dodge. Dodge. Another one spawned. We gotta kill this guy fast. Not dead. Go for it. Oh, I thought he was going for it to double. It's bad. It's got a pretty big range on it. Bye. Nice. 2 out of 4. I'm tanking a lot of this fight. More than I expected I would. You know why this attempt's gone so far? Is because I haven't had a single purple attack yet. They haven't shot one at me. Killing him too fast, he can't even spawn in. Where are you, buddy? Yo, let's go, let's go. Before he throws a purple at me. Double. See, I know you now, buddy. Too bad you all have the same moveset. What if they had all different movesets? That would be kind of crazy. That would make the fight really interesting, but really difficult. See ya, man. That wasn't that bad. Bequeath Lord Soulshard. Humanity 4. $60,000. Sorry, I need more endurance. I really do. I'm sorry. And the next fight we get to fight is Gravelord Nito. This is the same guy that gave us our sword at the very beginning of the game, and now we get to fight him. This is another really annoying fight as there's just constant skeletons popping out, and my axe does not kill them, and I don't have a way of permanently killing them, so they just keep getting up the entire fight. So I try to focus on Gravelord Nito for the majority of the fight. It is quite difficult. He's got this very large range attack, so you have to try to run away. I had nowhere to run away to, so kind of just accepted the damage there. He's got that sword attack where he kind of punches into the ground and punches up, so you have to dodge immediately, or else it's basically an instant kill at this point. I mean, almost every single boss attack in this game is an instant kill, unfortunately, due to our low vitality. And having these skeletons in the arena to just chip away at our health slowly does not help either. Luckily for us, that big purple attack does destroy all of the skeletons when it happens. So we get a little bit of rest from the skeletons for just a moment there. You charge up your R2 with this axe, it just does a ton of damage. Just bang, ton of attack damage right there. Gravelord Nito, honestly, not too bad of a fight. It's just rough due to that very large and damaging attack and the mix as well of the skeletons in the arena. And Gravelord Nito went down without a hitch. I think Gravelord Nito took me probably 5 to 10 attempts. And I know the clock has been running for almost 30 hours now. So we're making good progress in the Souls-like game, though. Or demons, sorry. Yeah, Souls-like. But on to the next boss. We ended up got $65,000 for that. This is another one of those really, really, really fun runbacks, and this is to probably the worst boss fight in the game if you don't know. I just decide to keep on my flame walking boots to allow me to get through the lava, as it makes it much quicker. You just gotta run through all these enemies, and trust me, I did go through this entire area multiple times. I've killed all of these enemies multiple times, but it really doesn't matter. After a certain amount of times of going through this area, there's no point in fighting the same enemies over and over and over and over again. So, I ended up just going straight to the boss fight, and you all know this boss fight. It's really not that interesting, to be honest. It's quite the uh, kind of boring boss fight. I would say it is a pretty boring and underwhelming boss fight. If you don't know how this boss fight works, I did have to use multiple lives to kill this boss fight, so there is two things on the left and right that you have to kill. And then he opens up his middle area here after you killed both of those. You just gotta do that little jump down the middle. And you go straight to this fire in the middle of his chest, or I guess the middle of like the tree here that the bed of chaos is. And once you get to the fire, you just basically destroy him. It's really underwhelming boss fight. There's not really much difficulty about it. Honestly, the hardest thing was probably the jump to get over to this actual fire thing. That jumping in this game looks easy, but is not very easy at all. It's surprisingly difficult. I'm gonna go ahead and level up more strength here. And for another run back. Yep, that's 2 in a row. For this one, you might notice what the heck is going on with your health bar. You've even got less vitality than normal. I am on a half health bar right now due to the unfortunate fact if you die to this boss fight from his blue crystals in the bottom right hand corner, you can see you get cursed while your HP your HP is halved. And so what I tried to go ahead and do, I tried to use one of these items I had to repair the curse, but unfortunately it did not work. So I just ended up deciding that, hey, I don't really care. I will just fight this boss with half health. And it turned out to be not too bad with half health. Seath the Scaleless. I would say this boss fight is a pretty difficult boss fight. He's got some very large range attacks. I go to the end of the arena here because you do have to break these things in order to damage him. And you can cut off the tails. In Dark Souls, cutting off the tails ends up getting you unique weapons and unique rewards. I honestly didn't really care about doing it. I just wanted to do it to try to make the boss fight easier. It didn't really matter. So Seath is all about controlling the arena. He does take up quite a little bit of space, and he's got attacks that can kill you instantly. So I like to wait until I know where he's going to shoot these attacks, and then I get really close to him and just do as much damage as possible. And that same blue crystal attack is that one I died to, which cursed me right there. It gives you that little skull meter, which is the same skull I have in the top left-hand corner. So I just like to wait for Seath to do his little firing attack. I run away from it because, again, they are basically instant death for me. So I have to play this very carefully. I have to play it very patiently, unfortunately. It is not a game of just run in and murder Seath instantly. He is quite large. Unfortunately, I didn't get a hit in. These crystals aren't super dangerous, so sometimes I'll decide to try to run into him. Missed an attack. So sometimes he'll do that while he'll surround himself in these crystals, and you can get a few hits in. Nice little dodge there from me. He's already at half health though, and as you can see, like I said, I did switch to a full, basically a tank build, but I have just enough weight to be able to roll still, I think. Because if you get overweight in this game, it doesn't really tell you when you're overweight, but you basically just do like the slowest roll in history. You cannot roll anymore at that point. So we try to keep it. I think I'm wearing like almost the full set of the armor, but I'm pretty sure I'm wearing, yeah, you can see I'm wearing a different pair of legs because I would have like stone legs, but those just put me right over the limit for the weight limit there. Yeah, unfortunately this boss is a lot of just running back and forth, waiting for him to open up because those laser beams just do too much damage to me. And this is one of the attacks that just instantly kills you if you're too close, so I just run as far away as possible. Some of the attacks will do like a curse. They give you that curse effect, and if you get fully cursed, I mean, I am cursed right now, but if you get fully cursed again, you basically just instantly die. It's kind of like one of the Elden Ring effects, where like if you get madness, you just basically take a bunch of damage, and at this point, the bunch of damage that I take from the curse is enough damage to just kill me instantly. Just waiting for Seath to open up and do his laser attacks. I try to make it so he uses the lasers far away from him, but he keeps using them very close to him. If I rush in and just keep attacking him, he will just laser me or use that big explosion attack. So I wait for the laser attack, and this is a really good opening because he takes a while to do the full laser attack. And this is probably where he goes down. Oh, not quite. I run away from a little bit here. He does that explosion attack again. You can run through it. Just gotta be a little bit careful. And he's dead. Just like that. See, the Scaleless has gone down. You get a little bit of money from doing this. This is the one time in the game I think that there was an intentional death. I don't think you can beat him on the first time that you see him. So that was an interesting thing to see. The intentional death was not the same death where I got cursed on, by the way, but it was something that I was surprised to see that they made you intentionally die. So I go ahead and rest at the bonfire they give you right here, and I go ahead and level up my strength again. That's really all I can afford right now. I'm really close to another level up, so I go ahead and check if I have any souls. I do have some souls, so go ahead and use those real quick. And level up my strength here again in a second. But really, it's just a boss game at this point. We're going to be heading into the DLC next, as that is when this is kind of the point in the game where you have to head to the DLC. Before we head to the DLC, we're going to kill one final boss at the Northern Undead Asylum again. We wanted to make sure we get rid of that enemy or these few enemies that are around here because they will come down and join us in the boss fight if we do not kill these enemies. They are really fun to deal with. So this boss is the Stray Demon. He is actually pretty simple. He's got an explosive attack that can kill us. He's actually got a pretty similar axe to us. And he does one shot with these swipe attacks. But honestly, they are pretty telegraphed. So they are not that hard to dodge. I think it's a pretty simple dodge, and you just take him out pretty easily. He's not going to be taking a whole lot of our hits here, unfortunately. He's got quite the limited health bar. Just absolutely slaughter him one piece at a time here. That red attack will kill you instantly if you get hit by it. So we go towards the axe every single time, just taking him out one little chunk of his health bar at a time. He's really slow though, so he's got no movement, and he's really got no danger against all us in general. I feel like this was another pretty easy boss. After you figure out his few moves, like this move is one of the moves that's one of the instant kill moves. As long as you're pretty far away from it though, you're fine. And then every single time he stutters for a second, you just gotta wait, and then you got an opening, a free opening. See, he lands on the ground. That's another free opening. So this guy really just gives himself too many openings for him to be out. Well, the red does not instantly kill you, but it does put you down pretty dang harsh. An axe almost did kill us instantly, but I decided to not heal and just go straight for the kill here. He goes for another explosion kill, so I decided to go for another heal here. Looking away from the explosion, looking like a cool guy, and the Stray Demon goes down just like that. victory achieved. And after Knight Artorias, I did level up a little bit, but I basically went straight to, in my opinion, probably the entire hardest boss of the DLC and maybe even the game. I think Calamite was probably tied with Magnus, in my opinion. Calamite was extremely difficult, and I died. And I basically just kept dying over and over and over and over. Here is a little section of gameplay of me just dying tons of different times. Just for reference, I had an 8-hour long video of me beating the entire DLC. And I'm pretty sure a majority of it was just me fighting Calamite and Magnus alone. Those two were really the big final bosses of the game. I think Calamite and Magnus were unbeatable, but we still beat them. The last boss, honestly, I would say is number 3. Number 3 in the most difficult bosses. Honestly, I would say Smo and Squidward was more difficult than the last final boss. So probably would be Dragon, Magnus, Smo, and Doughboy, and then the final boss of the game. But you guys can enjoy this just absolute massacre compilation from Black Dragon Calamite. There are plenty of deaths here. It just would go on and on and on if I were to show every single death, so I'm just going to show a few of my best attempts. But eventually, I did get over Black Dragon Calamite. It took me quite a lot of deaths. Unfortunately for myself, I did give up on using a boss death counter. I started the game off with it, but I stopped using it about halfway through. I found I didn't keep a good or consistent enough boss death counter for myself, so I ended up abandoning it, and I do apologize for not showing how many deaths I died on each boss, but if I had to guess, it was an crazy amount of deaths on Black Dragon Calamite in total. But here is my full Black Dragon Calamite defeat here, and you guys can just watch me do this as I somehow did it. And by the way, this was months ago at this point. I'm just getting around to editing this video just now. I don't know. I feel like, I mean, I would obviously still be able to do this today, but man, it did take quite a long amount of time to do this. Root beer. After Black Dragon Calamite was down, I went ahead and leveled up for probably the third or second to last time I would be leveling up for the rest of this game. Like I said, it does not really give you very many souls, or I mean, rather than it does give you a lot of souls, but it takes so many to level up that you really only get one level up per boss at this point in the game where I was at, which is fine. as you guys can see, I mean, many of these bosses did take quite a long time if you're noticing the amount of time between cuts. We're just jumping several hours into the future. I mean, it takes time to get to these different locations, of course, and it does take time to learn the boss fights, be able to accomplish the boss fights, and manage your stamina and maintain a good rolling distance. Everything, learning the run backs, like this is one of the run backs right here to Magnus. This run back is just another one of these super duper long run backs. I mean, honestly, this is not super bad compared to the other ones in the game. But here is my entire fight with Magnus. In my opinion, again, Magnus was probably tied for first place, if not first place. Magnus was a pretty hard boss. I think, honestly, if I am being honest, I feel like Magnus was a little bit easier because he took me a less amount of time to beat him. But he was still very difficult just because of how fast he was. After Magnus, we did level up, like I said, one more time, and I head over to the Snake Man. Now, if you don't know, this is literally the last part of the entire game here. I went over to the Snake Man. He takes you down into the big fire here. I don't remember what this was called, the Fire, but otherwise, since we are heading close to the end of the video, I do want to say I am sorry if this video feels a little bit rushed. This video did take a very, very, very long time to make. Not rather a long time editing, but more of just a procrastination issue on my part. So I felt as if I just wanted to push this video out, and I do obviously need some improvements on editing videos and doing some commentary on my gameplay during the gameplay. So I'm going to be working on that in my live streams. Yes, that is correct. I will be streaming live as much as possible on Twitch. On there, it is Sire Bohemus, SireBohemas, Sire Bohemus on Twitch. If you want to stop by, I will usually be streaming whatever game I really feel like playing, or if you guys ever want to suggest a game, I would be down for it. Maybe Dark Souls 2 could be something we look forward to in the future. Maybe other Souls-like games, getting more games done with no vitality or no vigor, or just doing extremely fun or challenging games would be also an issue. I have been playing a little bit of Mugenics lately. That's how long this video has been taking me for reference. Mugenics was not a game that existed when I started this Dark Souls playthrough. I had never even heard of it at the beginning of this Dark Souls playthrough. but Mugenics is now a game that's out. And if you don't know about Mugenics, get on it. Mugenics is probably one of the best games of 2026 if you haven't heard of it yet. It's a very fun game about getting your cats trained up. I am also planning on doing a Spelunky 2 video about me finally beating 7-99, which also at this point was almost a year ago. I have just been struggling to even start editing that process. I am probably going to be looking for somebody to help me edit a video, or probably finding an editor, because that is something that I am really struggling with, as it takes a very, very, very long amount of time for me, as this video took me, like I said, nearly a year. I mean, mainly procrastination, but I do also have a full-time job currently. But yeah, and that's also another reason of why I can't really stream every single day. Currently, my stream schedule would look like the following. I am going to be trying to stream around 3 p.m. Central Standard Time to around 5 p.m. And that would probably be Tuesday through Saturday. Sunday, I will not be streaming. And Monday, I will try to be streaming basically as long as I can be. I think Mondays will be a great day to stop by if you are ever interested. But yeah, mainly 3 p.m. CST to 5 p.m. CST if you are interested. But I do appreciate you guys sticking through this whole video. Gwen, the final boss here, is quite challenging as well, but honestly, didn't take me very long. This is one of my first attempts, as you can see. This was my first, or probably not my first, but one of the many runbacks I did to Gwen. This attempt did go pretty good, but he ends up killing me. So you guys can just enjoy my final attempt at Gwen and the rest of the game. But I appreciate, again, anybody who decided to watch this video. I know it may not be the best video ever made. I am going to be trying to work on progressing on my editing, my commentary, and my videos in the future. But if you guys do decide to stop by my Twitch or watch future videos, I greatly appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Drink faster. Dink, dink, dodge, dink, dodge, and then it's over. It's over! Dark Souls is over! We drink, and we keep drinking. Over. Link the fire or walk away. I think I should walk away. This is the ending of Dark Souls. Bonfire, an empty coliseum. Way to walk out. I guess let's get one last screenshot. I want to get him in his proper drip. Look at that! Look at that proper drip. I think I prefer the black pants. Oh, no helmet on. can't cure my humanity now, but... There's my first game down. No vitality. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do I think? Probably an 8. No, definitely not. It's gotta be like a 7 or a 6, but man, some of these bosses were pretty tough. Pretty dang tough, dude. The last 4 bosses, they were pretty difficult. The DLC was pretty difficult overall. It was really short, but it was pretty difficult. Guess it's time to step out of this door and move on to the next game. I will be 100%ing this game, but I don't think I will be recording that. So...
My lord, bless thy safe return. Let Karth and Fraft serve your highness. We are here to serve your highness.